If you're working your way through WaniKani and you're wondering if it's worth it, I've been there. I'm level 59, 814 days working my way through it, and I wanted to share what I've learned, how I made my way through, how I overcame the level 40 plateau, and share some tips with you in the hope that they're helpful. I'll talk about WaniKani maxing versus a steady pace, the kanji batching method I use to put all the kanji together, how I approach new vocabulary and immersion, and vacation mode and the value of persistence. But first, is WaniKani worth it? WaniKani has 100% been helpful. When I first started WaniKani, I struggled to read really easy material. Now I know 70% of N1 kanji. By being able to read it, you then make it similar to, say, a Romance language, where from day one, you can read the language. In Japanese, you need to do work before you can get to that point. But once you're there, once you can read a lot of the material, it's super rewarding. Let's talk about the two different paths for WaniKani. WaniKani maxing versus doing a steady pace. When I first started WaniKani, I was WaniKani maxing. I tried to go through every lesson as fast as possible and go through all the vocabulary at once. I would get the lesson, I'd just max it out. This works at the beginning because you don't have prior reviews that you're working your way through. And so you can go as fast as possible and it feels great. Later on in your journey, you have a lot of words that you're still working your way through from prior reviews, you have mistakes, and you have new material. So once you get to around level 30 or 40, at least that's for me, it started to become much harder. And I needed new approaches to actually get to the end. And I started to focus on how can I get to the end instead of how can I get there as fast as possible. My approach to kanji for WaniKani is first, go through all the radicals as fast as possible. These are usually really easy and they unlock new kanji. Then go through the kanji in batches. And by this I mean, don't spread them out over days. One day, dedicate yourself to the new kanji and work through all of them. First, go through them in one giant batch. Then review them all in detail in an extra step that WaniKani doesn't give you. Let me show you what it looks like to go through the batch and the detailed review. All right, let's go through some new lessons. Select all of the kanji, and it'll start 34 kanji. I'm gonna go through these the way you normally go through the kanji. First, I just go through each one individually. I did all of the kanji. Now I go into levels. I'm gonna go to level 59. And now here are the kanji. And so what I do is I zoom in and I start to test myself. So only having gone through once, I'm almost certainly gonna forget almost all of them, even though you did them once. And so what I try to do here is go through again and see how quickly I can remember them and quiz myself. And what I do is I go through each level at a time. So I zoom in and then I cover up the bottoms, and that's why I can only see the tops. And I'm gonna start to quiz myself. So I remember A as in Asia, Ton as in barracks, Cape, Ro, Su. Yes! So I got them. So it took me a couple minutes to do that, but now I got them solid. So now I can go just review them normally the way that WaniKani intends. For vocabulary, I make sure that I have low reviews and then I add new words. I add 5 to 10 new words at a time. I learn them in WaniKani and then I move them over to an app I built called Tokki, which helps me internalize them. You can do this also through ChatGPT or any other tool that you use. You basically take the words that you're learning and you want to have some other exposure to them so you can hear them in context. Otherwise, you just know how to recognize the word, but later on, when you then want to see them in a review, you won't really understand them. You don't know what they are. You don't actually recognize them because you never really learned them. It becomes really dispiriting if suddenly you have 400 reviews and it feels insurmountable. Instead, what you do is you use vacation mode to help you on your journey. In WaniKani, you can go to Accounts, Vacation Mode, and turn this on. What it does is it hits pause on your reviews so that they don't accumulate. So let's suppose that you suddenly have 200 reviews to go through. What I would do is I'll pause it, go to vacation mode, do 50 reviews, then go on vacation mode again, do another batch of reviews, and so forth. By slowly moving through and doing little bit at a time, time with vacation mode interspersed, you don't burn out, and then you can continue in the future. At the beginning of WaniKani, level 60 feels like the goal because it is a goal. However, the real goal is actually speaking and learning Japanese. There's something magical that happens on the order of years. The change from any particular day or week is actually very small, but when you add it all up, you can't believe where you started. If you have any other tips, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and good luck on your WaniKani journey.